All right, we're going to do something a little bit different today. Coming the Christmas season now, the shopping has already started and everything. And of course, we've been doing ornaments and things like that and stuff. But for those of you that are beginners and are a little bit maybe have carved a few little things, they provide what's known as roughouts. Now, if you go to a carving class, this is what you're going to carve off of. You're going to carve off of a roughtout. There's no way that a teacher can cut every piece or do whatever it is. So what occurs is for those of you that's not familiar with roughouts necessarily, a roughout is simply a piece that the original carver has carved, and they send it to a company, and this company has a router, and that router follows this roughout around and cuts out the shape, in other words, for you already, for the carver already, so that when they begin their classes, people don't have to cut it out or anything like that. No one begins with the very beginning. I mean, most all carving classes involve roughouts, and this is a roughout Santa by Mike Shipley. It's called a Roly-Poly Santa, and I'm going to tell you something. Mike has some of the, at Ozark Country Characters, he's got some of the greatest little Santa roughouts and bears and things like that. He's even got hillbillies, but for Christmas he's got some great little Santas, I'll tell you. Now, there's a lot of people that have roughouts, but I like Mike's style. I like his I don't use roughouts that much, but for Christmas, for quick Santas and things like that, they are ideal. Now, the thing about a roughout is it costs a little bit more than just wood. In other words, I think this little roughout right here, it's about it's about 9 inches tall. It's about $18, but we're going to do a roughout. Because I'm going to tell you just, for one ideal Santa that you want to make, in other words, for Christmas or something like that, a roughout is a wonderful thing to do and to use. Plus, it gives you a chance not to have to worry about cutting it out and doing those things. Just beginning with the roughout itself. Now, I'm going to kind of move this camera down just a little bit. Well, I'm trying to get this in, as we commonly say, well, maybe a little bit. Okay, now let's first of all look at the roughout. First of all, when you buy this roughout, okay, that we're going to do today, you get with it a picture of the finished carving. In other words, the finished original carving and everything like that. And Mike puts that in there. It's a colored picture of what the piece will look like. Now, the wonderful thing about a roughout is you can change whatever you want to with it. I've even cut the hats off and had ball Santas and done things like that. But for a quick, nice Santa, or I'll show you, I finished one like this and stuff, then these are ideal. These are ideal. I don't know what a dog is doing barking outside. But anyway, this is, he sends you a complete picture. He gives the front view, the back view, the side view on each side, and shows you a little bit about how it's going to look. Now, I like to have fun with roughouts at times and just do some things. Now, what we see here is the roughout. Let's just sort of look at it for a minute, okay? If you look from all sides and how you have it, everything is pretty self-explanatory of the areas that you're going to carve in them, in other words. Now, as you look at the top up here, you see that's where this thing was put on a spindle and was roughed out, in other words. If you look at the bottom, you see the same thing. And a lot of people say, now I've heard a lot of people, well, isn't that cheating? No, it is not cheating, because I'm going to tell you, like I said, if you go to our carving class, you're going to work with a roughout. If that's cheating, then every carving teacher that holds a class is cheating. And that's not the purpose of this, okay? Some people, Roughouts are perfect for some people. A lot of people don't have bandsaws. A lot of people don't have they don't have the access to have the pieces cut out, and that's where Roughouts come in. And they're fantastic. They're great for teaching carving classes and teaching people. So that's what we're going to do today. Is we're going to carve this Roughtout, okay? And then afterwards, I'll show you some pieces that I've done. These, like for Christmas, I carve a lot of Santas during Christmas, and I'm going to tell you something. There's no way in the world that I could get all of them done if for family and friends without a Roughtout. I'm telling you, I just couldn't get them all done. Not the way I work and everything like that. So it's nice that I can take one of these out to work whenever I get a little time and sit down and carve on it and stuff like that, in other words. And they are fantastic. And most of the time what I'll do, a lot of times, well, what's nice is to, like a lot of my family, they'll pay for the Roughtout. I'll show them pictures. If you want a Santa this year, I'll show them certain pictures of the Santas he's got or whatever. And then they'll give me the money for the Roughtout. I'll go and I'll order it, and then I'll just carve it for them. And they really come out nice. I'm going to tell you something. So every Christmas, I kind of have a. You can go to Ozark Country Characters on the web. That's Mike Shipley, and look at the Santas that he has that are Roughouts. And we're going to carve. This is the roly-poly Santa right here, and we're going to do that one today. And these are a lot of fun and great to use. So let's get our knives out. In fact, I'm using my Mike Shipley knife. And let me make something very clear, okay? I don't get anything from Mike Shipley, okay? I just think that his carvings are wonderful. I think that his Roughouts and stuff are wonderful, just like I think Alan Goodman's Roughouts are great. But to me, I love the style of Mike. I love the way he does his Roughouts. And, you know, we've carved a lot of things from scratch, in other words, from when I cut it out and all that other stuff. But these are wonderful pieces to work on for Christmas. And when I come back, we're going to start doing our carving of the Roughtout. Okay? And as we look at it, in other words, and what we're just going to pencil in. This is where the, see this right here? This is where the, all right, this little line right here, on here, this is where the coat comes down. And what I've been doing with a lot of these Roughouts, he's got some little leaves here. I've done that. I've done a little Christmas tree on it and stuff like that. So that's just the way it is. So anyway, kind of doing that. And this is, of course, is where the hand is, right in here. And then there's a little sleeve that comes along in here. See, a lot of people say, well, that's already carved out for you. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not carved out for you. You still have to do basically the work that makes it. Because if you hand somebody a piece like this, they're going to say, whoa, that's not very good. What is that supposed to be? I mean, it looks like a Santa, but it's not finished. And all you're doing is finishing this to the way you want it to be. So do not ever feel that it's cheating or anything like that. Because even experienced carvers use Roughouts, okay? Even experienced. Plus, you help other carvers who are trying to make a living doing it. You help them on their businesses and stuff like that. So, anyway, we'll come back and we'll start our carving.